point will you women realize that there is no reward for being picked by a guy who still thinks that he's better than you?
Some time alone than be with other people.
But men do not think of you as a prize. Walk everywhere with your head up. Doesn't matter if you're size 12, size 20.
Literally just wash their husband's location and clean and do laundry.
The history says that women were not allowed to vote. And they're very emotional, so no.
And start talking to these men a couple weeks before I start ovulating. I'm pregnant with my third child right now, and this is my third baby daddy.
Hey guys, welcome back to More to Life. Now, before I get into this video, I ask that you like, comment, subscribe. Also, smash that notification bell just to be sure you get on my videos as soon as I release them. Let's get right into this.
Sometimes I go out with girls who have boyfriends, and it's like, if you love your boyfriend so much, just stay at home.
Yeah,
because you're ruining the vibe.
You're ruining it.
You're ruining the vibe for us single girls. Like, of course, like when us single girls are going out, we might meet some guys, or we might be on the table with a guy.
You're mingling, man.
We're mingling, and then you're moving bare hostile. You can't even talk to no one because sorry, I've got a man. Okay, just go home then.
Arms by the side like this.
You
can't
can't talk to no one. Don't want to talk to anyone from the opposite sex, even if it's just in a friendly way. They won't do that. They'll be like, nah, sorry, I can't come on the table because my boyfriend. It's like, just go home. You just go home. Right?
I agree.
You're ruining the night for the girlies.
Yeah.
How about they not even come? Like, usually when girls are in relationships, sometimes they have to break up with their single friends because of reasons like this. Now, any girl that's a good girl that still goes out with single friends, and men should question themselves. Those girls should be single. Seriously. Like, if I was in a position where I'm back in the West, say I'm not married, right? I'm back in the West. I'm talking to a girl. I'm talking to her seriously. And she's saying, I'm going for girls night out with my girls. We're not talking no more. That needs to happen for women to start taking things seriously.
At what point will you women realize that there is no reward for being picked by a guy who still thinks that he's better than you? Like, you engaged in competition with other women, which is against your nature, because as women, we are cooperative in nature. So you went against your own nature to prove that you are worthy enough to be with a guy who does not think that you are better than him. He thinks he's better than you. No matter how much you went out of your way to try to prove how you're better than other women, he still thinks he's better than you.
The reason why women usually have to prove they're better than other women because men are the prize. And some women can't cope with that. You got to understand that. For women or to high value men, I reacted to a video the other day where a high value man went to an event and he shut the whole thing down. Why? Because all women looking for him.
What is the point in engaging in that competition? What is the point in winning that competition? What is the point in being in a relationship with someone who does not see you as an equal? The only reason why he picked you is because he can see that your self-esteem is so low that you are willing to compete with other women to gain his approval. And he gave it to you temporarily by choosing you. But he's still going to take every single chance he possibly can take to remind you that you are lower than him in terms of worth. Okay, and he's not going to treat you like the queen that you are, because you have proven to him that you don't even think you're a queen. The thing about having self-love and self-worth and self-confidence is that you don't wait for somebody else to confirm it, especially a man who believes that he's better than you.
That sounds like being single.
Any dude who believes that he's better than you is not a dude that you need validation from. There's just nothing you can do to make him think that you're better than him or equal to him. And it's not a competition anyway. Why do you want to be in a relationship with a man who does not think that you are equal to him and is going to make you jump through hoops to prove how worthy you are? But there's no reward. There's no prize. A lot of you girls get your self-worth out of making other women the enemy instead of the dude that you're dating. And that's why he treats you like the enemy. That's why even though he picked you, he treats you like an op. Because he's in competition with you. Because he does not see you as an actual human being.
No, it's not because of that. It's not because he's in competition with her. It's because he expects her to be all about him. That's what's expected nowadays. And it's so sad women won't realize that. And that's why women are going to be lonely. More and more women are going to be lonely because look what she's saying. The woman is trying to compete and be the prize when she's offering nothing. Probably doesn't even have a job. But you're supposed to be treated like a queen. Don't let women like her get your head mixed up.
He sees you as someone who's going to temporarily validate his ego, stroke his ego, and as soon as he gets bored, he's going to triangulate you with another woman because he knows that you engage in competition with other women.
So pessimistic.
And so when he needs another ego stroke, he's going to cheat, he's going to talk to another girl, he's going to pit another girl against you. Even if it's not a girl that he wants to be romantically involved with, he's going to do that with his mother, his sister, his cousin, whatever, okay? And then he's going to watch as you struggle and flail to prove yourself to him by competing with this other woman. That's so pathetic. It's pathetic, and it's a waste of your time, and it's a waste of your youth, and it's a waste of your energy. You are a woman who is born with value. You are born with a portal of life in your body. You are inherently valuable. You do not need to be engaging in competition with anybody to prove your worth to anybody, especially a man. Men are the ones who created systems of competition in order to prove their worth in society because they know that deep down at their core, they are not worthy of a woman unless they can prove to her that they can take care of her, that they can protect her, that they can provide for the offspring that she will use her body to create and birth into the world. This is your sign to stop seeking male validation and to stop putting male validation on such a high pedestal. When you validate yourself as a woman, everybody else will validate you also. And if they don't, it doesn't affect you because you've already validated yourself. These guys want you to be seeking their validation and seeking their approval because it gives them power over you. Why do you want a dude who doesn't even have $100 in the bank account to have power over you?
Who hurt you?
Why? You have the power to bring life into this world. He doesn't even have $100 to his name. And you're giving him your power by telling him it's important for you to validate me and for me to be picked by you, dude who doesn't have $100. See how crazy that sounds? Ladies, please, snap out of it. Snap out of it. Stop competing with other girls. Stop competing with other women for the attention of a particle of dust. It's not your responsibility to prove how valid you are or how worthy you are of male attention by competing with other women, okay? That is a system made up by men. It's irrelevant. It's nonsense. It's made up. You can stop playing that game whenever you decide. But the first step to deciding that you want to stop playing this game is deciding that you no longer need their validation. They don't even validate themselves.
Now, you said for a particle of dust, a man that makes $100. Now, most of the time, no woman is talking to a man that low on the scale, or they're all trying to hunt a man that's here. That's how women choose 6 feet, 6 figures here. So, what you're saying is for a woman to make herself seem like she's of value when all a man sees is booty, prettiness, and et cetera, whatever she's bringing, which is what she's showing. Because women nowadays, you're telling women not to show what they bring to the table. That's how you would get a man to say, is she worth competing for me, right? That's what's happening. Because women have to realize it's on a world scale nowadays. It's different. You got a lot of competition out there, and you need to compete.
The woman that's going to end up being single forever is the one that hates being accountable for the things that they've caused in a relationship. The moment they're confronted by their man about something they've done that he didn't appreciate or like, rather than accepting accountability and saying, hey, I'm sorry, we'll work on this together, we'll grow together, instead she'll either, one, blame him for being the reason why she did what she did, or two, what she'll do is she'll acknowledge his complaint. Rather than accepting accountability, she wants to then bring up something her partner did, whether it be current or in the past, that upset her, to try and shift the dynamic and blame and now make him feel like he has to be accountable for something that is completely unrelated to the circumstance in front of him.
I feel like I aggravate a lot of women, including my mum, because I decided very early on that my worth is not based on how much I can sacrifice. So there's certain things I'm not doing because my worth is not contingent on that. I feel like a lot of women do things to show that they can be of help. I can help you. I can cook for you. I can clean for you. Look at what I can do for you. Look at how much time I can take out of my day to do this for you. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not. Like, I've got something else to do. I would rather go out and have fun than cook for people.
Well, that's how most women are, right? Whether it's with a friendship, in a relationship, that's with everything. You said you were telling it to your mother, but that's the same attitude and this the same energy you bring into a relationship with a man.
Would rather go and rest than cook for people. I would rather spend some time alone than be with other people. If it's something I need to do, I'd rather do that. And what upsets me is that people don't understand that when they're triggered by that, it's because it's so rare and it's so like unconventional, especially for a black African and eldest daughter to behave that way, that people don't even understand they're being triggered by it. Like, I'm not doing this to prove a point. I just have decided that my worth is not based off of that.
For my new single life checklist,
I will help when I can and where I can. I'm a child of God. I know that helping others is important, but I'm not going to help you at the detriment of my own life. Does that make sense? Like, I will be of assistance, of course there will be times where I will put people before myself, but if I don't do that and you're not happy with that, I don't mind. Like, if I say no to you and you feel like, oh, I'm the worst person in the world, I'm okay with that, because I need to put myself first. And women don't do that. So when other women do that, they look at them like, she's selfish, or it comes across as like under the guise of, I don't like her, but you don't even know why you don't like her, but you're triggered because you wish you could be as free as that woman. A lot of women, I believe, wish they could be as free as me. I sense a little bit of resentment when I talk to my mum sometimes about certain things, because I know that she wishes she could be as free as me to say no, to not do. And it's actually amazing because I've actually taught my mum how to say no. I've actually sat her down and I'm like, Mum, you don't have to do that. Like, when my mum turned 50, I think she changed for the better. Like, she stopped doing things because she felt she needed to. I sit her down and be like, you're 50 years old, you're a big woman. You've been a big woman for a very long time. You don't need to do that. And it's sad because sometimes when I get it from men, I'm like, I don't care. Men will think I'm selfish. Men will think I do too much. Like, when I used to say I don't want children, men used to go crazy because how dare you? But when I get it from women, it's disappointing. And I want a lot of women that are those women to understand that you're being triggered. You're being triggered. There's something in you that wishes you could be that way, because that shouldn't bother you. What another woman is doing with her time should never bother you.
See that? I said that's how they are in their personal life, is how they'll be in a relationship. She don't believe her worth is based in sacrifice. And then she said, as a Christian woman, it's all about sacrifice, all right? Like, my wife will do anything for me, and she'll do anything for her family. Of course, if somebody calls you and says, I need you to cook something for dinner tomorrow, you don't have to cook if you don't want to. I don't mean like that. But you see how she stemmed back and she said, even with a man, I said, I know it. The apple don't fall too far from the tree. And you already know who bit the apple.
If you want to live solely off of child support, it's important that you have multiple baby daddies and that baby daddy only has kids with you and not with other women. The reason for that is because there is a cap on what percentage of their income that they will have to pay towards child support. And I think where I live, it's like 16% or something like that. So it's important also that they have a high income. I'm pregnant with my third child right now, and this is my third baby daddy. So what I do is I download dating apps and I go sit in parking lots of expensive areas. And a lot of times the people that live in those areas make a lot of money because the cost of living is high, right? I always try to get on these dating apps and start talking to these men a couple weeks before I start ovulating.
I said, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait, first of all, you're not going to speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
So I can get to know like what their job is, how much they make, if they have any other kids, because this is important information. Also, always ask them if they want kids. If they say yes, run. If they say no, perfect. That means you can have your kid. You don't have to worry about them getting partial custody and you getting less child support money.
You heard that, right? When I seen that, I realized something. Most people and most women that are on, food stamps and receiving services from the government are not black women. I think a lot of you guys know that. But it's women like her. Women like her are cheat the system more. Man, don't sleep. Poverty is not a black person thing. I hate seeing it in the hood. I hate seeing it. But That mentality, we didn't start that. That started from a white woman scamming the system, and she got it down to a pack. Only thing though was different. You see the difference, right? The difference between their kind and our kind. She has it mapped down to a science. She's talking about look up how much the guys are making, and I go sit in the area like that woman is devious. She is. I would never want to run into her. Guys, be careful. Be very careful. You in these areas that's well established. A woman like her is on the hunt. But I won't be bothered. You see her, how she looks. She looks all disheveled, hair not done. It doesn't look like something that I would go for. But who knows? She probably does her hair up, gets dressed so nice, has a booty. She got 3 kids, right? She probably be thicker than this thicker. Get out there and have you guys like looking like something to eat, but be careful.
I just saw an interview where Cam Newton's baby mama said she had 5 children and was pregnant for 4 years straight, and she thought after the 5th child they were on their way to marriage until she found out he had a baby by somebody else, and that was the point that she realized they were not on the same page. He's going around having conversations about how he finds the importance of having children rather than marriage. And I'm not saying marriage is everything, but men...
Mom, I'm not all men.
...do not think of you as a prize because you birthed their children. Anybody can birth a child. Anybody can have a child. I'm not saying anybody could be a good mother. I'm not saying anybody could be impactful in their children's lives. I'm saying because you have a child with a man, because you have 2 children with a man, and in Kia's case, she had 5 children with a man, it does not mean that they will choose you at any point, at any time, in any realm. They're not going to choose you all the time. So when I have these conversations about friendships and relationships, I'm not comparing a relationship with a man to a relationship with a friend. But what I am saying is when you choose that man over your children, over your friendships, over your job, over your future, do not expect that man to have those same choices in the future. I don't think it's really hard to take that in and realize what I'm saying. In the comments, it seems like it is. I'm saying this in a nice way, as nicely as possible, but if you want to get down to the nitty gritty, I know how to get down to the nitty gritty. Okay? I'm trying to deliver these messages as calmly and as nicely as possible, but you guys are confused.
No, that's not the case. The issue is Cam Newton knows he's the prize. He's made how many millions? He's bought 6 something. He's probably 6'4". He's a football player. That man could have kids with her, turn around and have kids with someone else, and not have to risk giving up the bag. He has kids. He doesn't have to give a woman $10 million. But in a divorce, if she says half, right, takes him to child support court and all of that stuff and gets half of the homes, she gets half of everything. Him, knowing he's the prize, is not going to settle. If he gets married to a woman, he'll be settling. That's not our fault. That's woman's fault. It's that way. You got to realize that. You women made the rules. You did. All guys did was follow the rules. Think about it. Feminism made the rules. Every woman follows. They want the same guy. So what happens? Guys like Cam Newton can have 5 children and not choose her. Why does he need to? Why would he waste his money? That'd be a waste of money. Think about it.
Dating successful high caliber men would be harder for them since they are plus size.
As a woman from the plus size community, this is a very, 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 very daft thought process.
This kind of goes back to the whole
pretty privileged topic. I'm tired of the rhetoric that you need to look like this to get this type of man. Because I don't understand why we can't open our eyes and look at the media. The most gorgeous women in the media get cheated on, get done bad, are single mothers, have to get divorced, get left. So you looking a certain type of way does not qualify you for a certain type of love. And you not looking a certain type of way does not make you disqualified from being loved by a good quality man. I truly believe other people will treat you how you treat yourself. If you are a plus size woman and you walk around with your head down thinking that you are less than and you deserve less than the next girl, that's what you're going to get. When you believe you're not good enough for a certain type of treatment, that's when you're going to get. But if you build your confidence and work on self-love and you see the value in yourself, you believe that you're going to get the top quality man. That's what you're going to attract. People treat you how you treat yourself. So I feel like so many times we're caught up in, I look like this, I'm a size 0, I'm an Instagram, I don't have a BBL, I don't have a this, I don't have a that. The media should show you it doesn't matter what you look like. So walk everywhere with your head up. It doesn't matter if you're size 12, size 20, size 0.
Dress size?
10.
How much did you weigh last time you weighed yourself?
157.
Almost 33 pounds, 33% over your ideal target weight.
People treat you how you treat yourself. If you love yourself, if you take care of yourself, and if you see the value in yourself, a man is more likely to see that value as well.
You guys just saw that. This is sad. These women, they fell for the how you feel. I can manifest this. I can make money appear out of trees. Men love me because they think I'm beautiful. It doesn't matter if you're a size 0 or size 20. That's here on the scale. And that's here more in size. You think a man wants that more extra? Look at my body, right? I fit within there. You think a man wants that much extra a body size to deal with? Hell no. Why would a man choose that? A man, listen, and they thinking they're supposed to get high value, man. She said it, not me. The other woman said it too. Delusional. Listen, that's not gonna happen for you. But it's competition. Why would a man choose you when? Because that's what they want. They want Idris Elba looking like Fatsos. It's not gonna happen. They want Idris Elba with 6 figures looking like Fatsos. Definitely not gonna happen.
A lot of men do get married because they want a maid, a chef, a house cleaner, like all of these things, which that's totally fine if that's his wants and needs out of the partner. But then don't expect for her to bring in income just as much as you.
Women say this as if there's not women out here that don't marry men just for money. Women say this as if they don't use certain men for a security net based on who they have children with, because they know that that's going to be the fallback guy for the rest of their lives, knowing damn well that he was never the one to begin with, but they marry them anyway. This is also like saying that women only get married for an electrician, a mechanic, a plumber, a landscaper, etc., etc. But let's be so for real. Women are so delusional in the sense that like they have this idea that they're cooking and they're cleaning and they're slaving away, when the majority of women literally just watch their husband's location and clean and do laundry and give the illusion of productivity 30 minutes before he's on his way home. It's almost like the idea of a traditional woman who is actually being productive to the household no longer exists. And then they get online and cry about how they have like this mental workload and they want their husbands to be their emotional support animal rather than their partner. And they want their partner to also be their father figure who pays all of their bills while they basically are adult teenagers. But y'all never want to have that conversation. It's always circulated around, oh, men are only using women, blah, blah, blah. But y'all never want to talk about how women use men. And let's be so for real, it's not just marriage stages of a relationship with men and women that women are using men, because let's not forget the men that are friend zoned. Let's not forget the men that are being used for dates and financial gain. Let's not forget the amount of women that are on OnlyFans that are subjecting themselves to profiting off of men in the first place. But right, it's only men that are using women for a maid, a chef, and all of these things, even though there's women out here using men to fund their entire lifestyle and give them sponsorship. Okay, bye.
You know what I'm sick of doing? Is explaining to men that they don't like me. Why would I have to explain that to you? This continues to happen with multiple men where they're not showing consistent effort in wanting to get to know me. And I'm telling them, hey, I want more of this. And they're like, oh yeah, but I want to do that, but I can't. Then you don't like me enough. What? I don't care if you're busy. I don't care if you have other responsibilities to take care of. If you want to get it done, you'll get it done.
So entitled, so spoiled.
I'm just not high enough on the priority list. But my thing is, why don't they realize that? Like that movie, He's Just Not That Into You. Just reading the title is so life-changing. He's not texting you, he doesn't want to text you. He's not taking you on dates, he doesn't want to take you on dates. He's not getting to know you, he doesn't want to get to know you.
Что вы думаете о феминистках в Америке?
Я знаю, что они там вообще протесты жесткие какие-то устраивают. Дело каждого, как бы, кому-то надо за это бороться, кому-то не надо. Вот кому-то, как мне нормально. У меня с молодым человеком вообще прекрасные отношения, мы дружим. Они оборзели.
Вообще не против каких-то движений в общем и целом, если это не превращается в навязывание.
Они там довольно радикально настроены и непонятно за что борются.
Очень ярые феминистки, которые считают, что мужчин нужно вообще истребить в этом мире.
You see that? All men need to be exterminated from this world. What it is, the woman, they don't agree with the feminism. Like how it takes place in the West, I hate men. Women and other cultures don't see it that way. They don't hate men. They stand for women's rights. They stand for everything else. But when it comes to the extreme feminism we have here in the West, it's night and day from how women think in other cultures. And they're not going to change too. That's why women in other cultures, when a man buys everything from them, they see it as weird. Seriously, they do. It's weird. I don't want a man to buy this and buy that for me. I can do things. They have the same independent mindset, but it's a little bit different. It's a lot better too. And guys would rather that.
Are you a feminist?
No, I've never been one.
What is a feminist?
Feminist is someone that fights for women's rights, equality, and they are basically for women.
And you are not that.
I am not that. And that's because I don't see it surface level. So if you ask a girl on TikTok what's a feminist, she'll tell you what I told you. But me, I know that it's deeper than that. So that's why I'm like, don't identify with it. And also because of the way they go about the whole, this is how we're for women. The way that you're going about it, it's already a zero for me. So the title is not enough. Just because you said you're for women and you're fighting for the equality rights of women is not enough for me to take it on. What makes me take it on is how you go about that, trying to bring equality, etc., etc., etc.
What is the deeper understanding of you and feminism and why you don't support it?
Okay, so in the beginning, I was always very sketchy about feminism because I was like, okay, I hear what they're saying, like, okay, voting, what, men didn't allow us, what.
Damn, what? Hey, this is an agent, must. Yes.
And I was like, okay, I see where you guys are coming from. But yeah, there was still not enough for me to be like, you know, I'm taking on that because I saw in the way that they went about it. So when I did research on feminism, because I was like, okay, I'm very unsettled with this feminism thing. Let me get deep into it. Let me not just be satisfied with we are equals for women, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So when I deep dived into it, I got to ask questions about like, okay, so the history says that women were not allowed to vote. Why was that? Like I said, if you go to Google and you're like, why were women not allowed to vote? It's going to say, they said they're stupid,
they were stupid.
And they're very emotional, so no.
That's about right. That's about right. Yeah.
But if you go deeper and you go into the books, you will actually learn that, for example, the reason why women were not allowed to vote is because men were the heads of the house. So they voted on behalf of their households.
Almost like voting on behalf of your kids. It's
basically,
the same reason kids can't vote.
You see? So women had very much influence in what their husbands voted for. So it was just like, out of all the families, one man.
To represent, almost like our politicians now.
Yes.
It's like, why don't you sit in parliament? Is it because we're stupid? No, it's because
exactly.
we have representatives.
Yes, we've got one person representing us and what we're believing in, etc. The other reason was that women were more into, like, they were voting more municipal and local thing, yes. Because they were in charge of the schools, the hospitals, the shops and whatnot, because women were more nurturers and whatnot. Those are the roles that they played. So anything with children, education, teaching, they were there. So they had the power there. Government.
See, now it goes on for about another 6 minutes, but you see why she doesn't stand for it. I think she made a lot of good points. And this is how women, not all, some women bite the bullet, but she doesn't agree with what a lot of feminists do. She doesn't agree with anything they do. You know, it seems like it's just a hate men campaign. And what woman really wants that? Women don't really hate men deep down outside of the West. And that's why guys are going out to find a woman that's for them outside of the West. Because we realize we're the prize. And these modern women, they definitely can't cope.